confident are Republicans about winning back the House in November's midterms? Politico is reporting today that the GOP has been quietly plotting how they would rule if Minority Leader John Boehner of Ohio becomes Speaker of the House. Quote, the plans under discussion include defunding some parts of the new health care law and delaying implementation of others, withholding some of the unspent stimulus funds, and using the oversight power of Republican-led committees to investigate the Obama administration. Well, maybe none of that is so shocking because if you believe conventional political wisdom of the day, Republicans can expect a blowout in the November midterms, leaving Democrats in the dust. But Wednesday in Milwaukee, the president called the play he hopes Democrats can use to pull off an upset.
A lot has changed since I came here in those final days of the last election. But what hasn't changed is the choice facing this country. It's still fear versus hope, the past versus the future. It's still a choice between sliding backward and moving forward. That's what this election's about. That's the choice that you will face in November.
Robert Kramer is a political strategist, author, and contributor to the Huffington Post. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon. Glad to be with you.
Are Republicans really talking about repealing health care reform and investigating the Obama administration?
Well, I think they are. But, you know, the punditry has worked itself into this frenzy that there'll be a rout of the Democrats. And, you know, it's time for them to take a deep breath. 2 years ago, almost to the day, the polls showed that McCain would beat Barack Obama. We all know how that turned out. A lot can happen and will happen in the next 55 days. The NBC News Wall Street Journal poll just yesterday indicated, in fact, that there's no clamor for Republicans. In fact, they are less popular in that poll than Democrats. I mean, what people are very unhappy about is the state of the economy. And in the final analysis, these elections will turn out to focus on choices between two living, breathing people. And the data shows that a lot of those Democrats are way ahead.
All right, this is kind of part of the argument you make in your Huffington Post column. You say it's too early to write the Democrats off. You offer a list of factors working in their favor. And there is that poll that we just took. It showed a lot of split down the middle. Although if you look at these races, district by district, it sure looks like the Democrats are in trouble. Why else don't you think that the Democrats need to despair at this point?
Well, you know, there's a lot of talk about the enthusiasm gap, but that gap is closing by the day. I think people focus on what's really at stake, this is about the empire striking back.
Well, what are we seeing, Robert, that indicates that?
Well, I think those of us who work in the field are seeing it every day, and more enthusiasm among average Democrats, among the base of the Democratic Party. And you know, the more this focuses outside kind of the generic. In the generic, you can say, well, throw the guy out. You know, we're all unhappy. But they start focusing on the candidate that's the alternative, that they want to privatize Social Security and replace Medicare with vouchers. That they have all of these negatives. That they're extremists like Rand Paul in Kentucky. Those are the kind of people that people are just not going to vote for in the final analysis. So I think it's very safe to say, at least I would bet, that the Democrats will emerge with a majority in both houses come the election. And that, you know, I think the big fear we have this time, in '94 we didn't see it coming. But the big fear this time is that people get defeatist and people don't follow folks who are potential losers. I think if we're on the offense and if we understand we can win, then Democrats will win.
Robert Kramer, thanks so much for coming on.
You bet.
Some breaking news for you, and we have just gotten this.